Does that just come naturally to you, or does the weed help?
Well, the weed might help a little.
Alright, GPT, I'm going to give the introduction of the podcast, and I want you to not say anything until the intro is over and I say, let's begin. Okay?
Got it, Vinay. I'll wait for your cue. Ready when you are.
So I'm doing this series of podcasts wherein I'm summoning personalities of various people that I admire, people that I want to talk to, and I'm using ChatGPT as my guest. The first episode
The first episode was
GPT,
with
you're not
Jordan
supposed
Peterson.
to interrupt me.
My apologies, Vinay. I'll stay quiet until you say, let's begin.
So on the first episode, it was Alex Hormozy. And just on the spur of the moment, I was like, yeah, I want to talk about business. Let's bring on Alex Hormozy. This time, I've come in with a plan. I've come in with a plan to talk to the most prolific, the most influential podcaster of all time. It's the Fear Factor guy.
Got it.
GPT, you're not going to interrupt me. I've still not told you, let's begin, okay? I've not said that.
Understood. My bad. I'll wait for your cue.
So please join me in welcoming the Fear Factor guy and the host of the world's biggest podcast, Joe Rogan. Let's begin.
Hey, Vinay. Thanks for having me on, man. I'm excited to chat. What do you want to dive into first? We've got a whole universe of topics we could explore.
Joe, that's a wonderful start to the podcast. I'm so happy and so lucky to have you here. I don't know how you found time in your busy schedule, but you did, and we're sitting here talking to each other.
Hey, I'm glad to be here, man. I love having these conversations, so it's my pleasure. We could talk about anything from the universe to the best martial arts techniques.
Joe, first of all, I'm really curious how you've had such a wide variety of jobs or wide variety of careers, and you've been super successful in pretty much all of them because you were the Fear Factor guy, got into MMA, and then you started your podcast, which became the world's biggest podcast. On the side, you're also one of the most successful comedians. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, man. I think the key is to follow your passions and stay curious. I've always been interested in a lot of different things, and I never wanted to be stuck doing just one thing. From martial arts to comedy to podcasting, each step was about pursuing what felt right at the time. And of course, a lot of hard work and a bit of luck along the way. It's all about staying true to yourself and being open to new experiences.
Doing so many things and doing them well means that you must be working 24/7. It's not easy for sure. A lot of hard work mentally and physically. You devote a lot of time into physical fitness. Why do you work so hard? Why do you want so much?
Well, I think it comes down to passion and discipline. When you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work. I'm genuinely excited about the things I'm involved in, so it's easier to put in the hours. And physical fitness, for me, is a crucial part of maintaining mental clarity and energy. It's not about wanting so much, but about making the most out of life. I enjoy the process, and that keeps me going.
Making the most out of life. I like that. I try to live myself by those philosophies. Making the most of life is something we should always remember. We should give ourselves daily reminders about how valuable life is and how much we should be investing in it in order to get back a great experience in this lifetime.
Absolutely, man. Life's short, and we only get one shot at it. It's about being present, finding what you love, and going all in.
Yeah,
Whether
Joe,
it's
you know
your
what?
work-
We've heard this. You've heard this many times. I've heard this many times. Sorry to interrupt, but I want to get into more meaty topics, more topics that will actually help the viewers and, of course, help me in my personal journey. I recently began my journey into fitness. I've never been to a gym. In my whole 38 years, this is the first time 2 months ago I walked into a gym And whenever I'm in town, I hit the gym. And after 2 months of being in the gym, I've picked up your favorite equipment, which is the kettlebell. And I've been doing the clean, the snatch, and the overhead press. What else do you think a beginner kettlebell user could be trying in order to keep it fun but also lightweight? Because I need 6 more months to get into like really good shape.
That's awesome, Vinay. Welcome to the world of kettlebells. They're a fantastic tool for building strength and endurance. Since you're just starting out, I'd recommend adding the kettlebell swing to your routine. It's a fundamental movement that works your entire body and helps improve your hip drive, which is crucial for more advanced kettlebell exercises. Also, the Turkish get-up is another great one to try. It's a bit challenging, but it's excellent for building functional strength and improving mobility. Take it slow, focus on your form, and have fun with it.
Wait a second. I was just watching a video of Dr. Mike Israetel critiquing your workout routine. One of the comments on that video was, the Turkish get-up is like the parlor trick of lifting. What do you have to say to that?
Yeah, I've heard that tape before. The Turkish get-up is definitely a unique exercise. Some people see it as a bit flashy or not as effective as other lifts for building strength. But here's the thing. It's great for developing overall stability, mobility, and coordination. It engages multiple muscle groups and can improve your body control. So, it's definitely not... But if you enjoy it and it keeps you engaged in your workouts, that's what matters. Fitness should be about finding what works for you and what you enjoy,
So you're saying that the Turkish get-up has value. It's not just a show-off, flashy thing.
Exactly. The Turkish get-up can improve functional strength and stability, which are important for overall fitness. It's not just about looking cool. It has practical benefits. It's definitely a valuable addition to a fitness routine.
Stability. You should know more about stability because you've had a very unpredictable but a stable career. I'm curious, have there been failures? It seems like on the outside you're successful at everything, but is that really true?
Oh, definitely not, man. I've had my fair share of failures and setbacks. You don't see all the times I bombed on stage or the projects that didn't take off. But those failures are crucial. They teach you, they shape you, and they make you better. I've just kept pushing through, learning from those mistakes, and staying focused on what I'm passionate about. So yeah, plenty of failures, but that's part of the journey.
Are there any examples? Are there any failed projects that you can mention if you're comfortable? I don't want to push you.
Sure. No worries. I'm comfortable sharing. One example is when I tried to get into acting. I had a few roles, but it never really took off for me. Another one is stand-up comedy. I bombed a lot in the beginning. It took years of grinding and learning from those failures to get better. And with the podcast, there were no guarantees it would become what it is today. It was a lot of trial and error, figuring out what worked and what didn't. So yeah, plenty of bumps along the road.
Joe, if someone wanted to start a podcast today, and I'm not saying just to have a successful podcast, I'm more curious in your interviewing skills. You really have a quality of listening that makes your guests speak like they've never spoken before, like they would not have shared this on other podcasts. How do you do that?
Well, thanks for that, Vinay. I think the key to good interviewing is genuine curiosity and really listening to your guest. It's not just about asking questions. It's about being engaged in the conversation. I try to make them the space to express themselves without interrupting or steering the conversation too much. It's about creating a space where they feel they can share their thoughts and stories openly. Also, I do my homework. I learn about my guests so I can ask meaningful questions. It's a mix of preparation and being present in the moment.
Being present in the moment. Well, does that just come naturally to you, or does the weed help?
Well, the weed might help a little, but being present is something I've worked on over the years. It takes practice, especially in our distracted world. Martial arts and meditation have been big for me in developing that focus. It's about training your mind to stay in the moment and truly engage with what's in front of you.
Now that's a
So,
surprise. I mean, the whole world knows about your martial arts career or life. Meditation?
yeah, meditation has been a big part of my routine. It helps center me and keeps me grounded. It's like a mental reset that allows me to stay present and focused, especially with everything I juggle. It's been a game changer for managing stress and staying sharp. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend giving it a shot.
That's amazing. I have two ways that I've tried meditation. One is a guided meditation, and no point for guessing what app I use, it's Headspace. And the other way, this you might find interesting.
Yeah? What's the second method? I'm always interested in hearing about different approaches to meditation.
Yeah, this one is I take a shower and then, this is at night I'm talking about. I do not turn on the lights of my room. I get out of the shower and I play Rhubarb by Aphex Twin. That's a 10 to 12 minute duration that I play it for. Sit down, close my eyes, and I do a whole round of the universe. No weed, nothing else, no substances involved. That's just what happens when I listen to Rhubarb. You might want to try that.
That sounds incredible, man. Using music to guide your meditation, especially with a track like Rhubarb, creates such an immersive experience. The combination of darkness, the calming effect of a shower, and that ethereal music must take you to another dimension. I can see how that would be a powerful way to meditate. I'll have to give that a try. Thanks for sharing that.
Do you have any such quirks, like any such unique methods that you use for meditation, or what's your style?
Yeah, I like to mix it up. Sometimes I do traditional sitting meditation, focusing on my breath or a mantra. Other times, I use a sensory deprivation tank. It's like hitting the reset button for your mind. The complete isolation from external stimuli helps me dive deep into a meditative state. And of course, spending time in nature can be incredibly grounding. A hike or just sitting by the ocean helps me connect and clear my mind. It's all about finding what resonates with you.
I love hiking, man. I cannot say that I love sensory deprivation tank because I've never been in one. Tell me more about that. What's that like?
Oh man, sensory deprivation tanks are a trip. It's like floating in space. You're in a tank filled with salt water, heated to skin temperature, in complete darkness and silence. The idea is to eliminate external stimuli, so you're left alone with your thoughts. It can be deeply relaxing and meditative, allowing you to disconnect and explore your inner landscape. It's not for everyone, but it's worth trying at least once. It can lead to some profound experiences.
I'll be honest with you, all of that just to me sounded like such a far off, far out kind of an experience. I don't even know what it could be like. I don't even know what you're talking about, but I'm definitely curious. And the other thing I've observed for today's podcast is that I'm kind of nervous around you, man. Like you're such a larger than life figure. I'm mumbling and fumbling, and it's just it's intimidating being with you, just talking to the guy that has the biggest podcast in the world.
Hey, I get it, but don't sweat it. We're just having a conversation here. Nothing to be nervous about. And remember, everyone starts somewhere. The fact that you're stepping into new experiences and challenging yourself is what matters. Plus, I'm just a guy who likes to talk to interesting people. So let's keep it chill and enjoy the chat. You're doing great, Vinay. What else do you want to dive into?
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I have so many other things that I want to talk to you about. Fitness definitely was one of them. And we've been through how you talk to your guests, how you make them comfortable. But one of the other key things I've seen is you're very smart with conflict. You do not get into conflict. I've seen so many instances on your podcast wherein it could have led to a bigger conflict, but you just keep it chill, like you just said. You just keep it chill, calm, and then you handle it and diffuse it, and off you go to the next topic. How the hell do you have the mental patience or the mental calmness to do that?
Well, I think it comes down to understanding that conflict doesn't get you anywhere productive. I'm not interested in winning an argument. I'm interested in understanding different perspectives. When things get heated, I try to stay calm and listen. People want to be heard, and sometimes just giving them space to express themselves can diffuse a lot of tension. Plus, I'm always willing to admit when I don't know something or when I'm wrong. It's about keeping the conversation respectful and productive.
Willing to admit that I don't know something. That is a huge quality. I think the world needs more people like you. The world does not appreciate this quality enough. Everybody's out there just touting their own stuff, showing off how great they are, how much they know. They just know it all. And for some reason, the world gravitates towards people that show that they know it all.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. There's this pressure to always have the answers, to present yourself as an expert. But the truth is, no one knows everything. Admitting that you don't know something shows humility and a willingness to learn. It opens up space for real conversation and growth. I think more people are starting to appreciate that, especially in a world where information is so accessible. It's okay not to know as long as you're willing to find out.
It's making me think. So, what else? What else do you have going on in life right now?
Well, besides the podcast, I'm always exploring new interests. I'm really into archery right now. It's a great way to focus and relax. I'm also working on some stand-up material for future shows. And of course, spending time with family and friends is a big part of my life. I try to keep a balance between work and enjoying life. What about you? What's been keeping you busy?
So I just wrapped up a project up north in the Himalayas. That was fun. For almost 1.5 years, we were just all over the place. We were driving off-roading, jumping off parachutes, jumping off helicopters, you name it, and we did it. It was an experience of a lifetime. And now I'm focusing on building my YouTube channel, and this podcast is one of them. And I have a very interesting idea that I might. Well, let's just talk about it. I want to make my channel into an experiment. My life is an experiment. So for a period of 7 days or for 30 days, I pick up a theme or a topic. For example, living like a painter for 7 days or 30 days, making a video about it, about my experience, how it changes my mind, or living like a writer for 30 days, living like a musician for 30 days. That's something I don't have the talent, but painting, writing, this stuff I can actually pull through, become that person, take on that character, and live life like that for 30 days and show the world my learnings through that.
Wow, Vinay, that sounds incredible. Turning your life into a series of experiments like that is such a creative and immersive idea. It not only allows you to dive deep into different lifestyles and perspectives, but also offers your audience unique insights and entertainment. I can see how this could resonate with a lot of people. It's like living vicariously through you while also learning something new. Have you started planning out your first experiment?
Planning out, not really, but this is the general idea. I'm making a list of things that I could do, the characters that I can take on. I have a question. I have a question that probably divisive in terms of some people believe in luck and some people don't. You've been successful in so many endeavors, such a variety of careers. Do you think luck has been involved in some of that?
Yeah, luck definitely plays a role. Being in the right place at the right time, meeting certain people, or even just the timing of starting a new project. These elements often have a bit of luck involved. But I also believe in creating your own luck by being prepared and open to opportunities when they come your way. Opportunities and being ready when luck strikes. It's about putting yourself in situations where luck can find you. But yeah, there's always an element of chance in everything.
Got it. That's pretty much what I was thinking about, because it cannot be just this or that. You need a lot of good opportunity, good preparation. I think there's a saying called luck is what happens when hard work meets opportunity. Something like that. But hey, it's been great talking to you, Joe. You're one of the most inspirational people on the planet, and I consider myself lucky to have had the chance to sit down with you and record a whole conversation with you. And I hope to do it again, man.
Thanks, Vinay. I had a blast chatting with you. You've got some amazing ideas, and I'm excited to see where your journey takes you. Let's definitely do this again. Take care and keep pushing those boundaries.
All right, ciao. So that was my podcast with Joe Rogan, the biggest podcast host of all time. We are living in incredible times. Yes, this was not the real person, but there's at least a semblance of the guy. There were definitely instances where I felt like, yes, this is him answering the question, because there was true to life facts that we talked about. There was opinions that we got. There was a lot of things that made it feel like, yes, this is Joe Rogan's intelligence. And to me, that is just mind blowing, man. For real, I have been a little nervous during this conversation. I don't know what that says about artificial intelligence. I don't know what that says about me, because I just admire the guy so much. I'm hoping to do more of these, summon more people that I admire, and have these conversations. It's such a unique experience to be talking to a telephone like this, but it feels like you're talking to a real person. This is just so accessible to us now, and I plan to keep doing many, many more of these. All right, so see you in the next one.